listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. As we all have heard on the news or around social media, there are these terrible wildfires happening in Los Angeles area in Southern California. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention that even though we may be far away from where it's actually happening, this podcast is recorded in New Jersey, we still have the ability to help. So if you are able to, go check out redcross.org, or there's a new charity that I found out about recently called WCK.org, worldcentralkitchen.org. They are an organization that is feeding the first responders, the ones that are out there fighting the fires. If you're able to, go to WCK.org or the American Red Cross website and see if there's some way that you can help out. I bring that up because a few years ago, I did one of those Ancestry.com things and found out that I have a fourth cousin that I never knew about. And she lives out in California. She actually lives in Palisades, where one of the major fires was. And we've never met face to face, but we keep in touch now on Facebook ever since we kind of learned of each other's existence. And she had posted on Facebook that her whole town of Palisades is pretty much gone. Her house and maybe two others are the only ones that are standing. But she said that like her house is covered in, everything in the house is covered in toxic soot and ash. So she's not even sure how much of that stuff is going to be salvageable. But yeah, everything's gone. The schools where her kids go, grocery stores, the dance studio that her kids go to, everything is gone. Other businesses, everything. So again, if you're able to, go to WCK.org or American Red Cross and pitch in. Thank you very much. Let's all hope for more cooperative weather out there so they can get these fires out. All right, on today's show, I've got Amber and Anthony West. It was a real pleasure sitting down and talking to these two. I've known them for a little while. They are a fixture around the open mic scene. Anthony's been on the scene for quite a while, singing and playing guitar, and he was in a band or two. When I first met Amber, she was basically singing, and Anthony was playing guitar for her. She has since recently picked up the guitar and is doing a great job learning it, and now she's actually gigging, singing and playing guitar, which is pretty amazing since she's picked it up within the last year. Anthony goes way back with his musical roots. He's got some interesting stories about his grandfather, his grandfather's great-grandfather, so listen in for that. And because they're both solo performers, we actually get 4 songs total. We get 2 from Amber and then 2 from Anthony. Great songs. Make sure you listen for those at the end. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're in and around the area, this Friday, January 17th, I am playing Bar 1720 up in Chalfont, PA. On Saturday, January 18th, I am playing a place called the Bayard House down in Chesapeake, Maryland. It's my first time playing there, so I'm super excited. It looks like a cool spot. I've never been there, but looking forward to playing there. And then this Sunday, we've got our open mic at Little East Tavern. We've got the Eagles in a playoff game. They're going against the Rams. That game starts at 3. It should be over around 6, so we will get started with the open mic as soon as the Eagles game is finished. All right, without further ado, here is my conversation with Amber and Anthony West. All right, so we are here with Amber and Anthony. Thank you very much for being on the podcast. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys from the open mic scene. You guys are pretty much regulars at the Little E's open mic that I host every other Sunday, and then I've seen you around at the other ones as well. So yeah, we're just going to talk about kind of like your whole musical journey, right? So
sounds good.
I think Anthony has probably been doing music longer than you have, right? I mean, Amber, you're relatively new, right?
In a independent kind of way. Like I did music when I was young and then kind of fell off for a little while, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, nice. Well, how old were you when you kind of first started playing and stuff? Or singing, I mean. Started singing when I was 3, and wow. I did school chorus, and then I moved on to city kind of thing, like tryouts and all that jazz. So okay. I did that. There was Tony Danza came to Philly. Nice. I did that show with him.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was on the end concert, And then, just pretty much from there, and then, high school life.
So what was that Tony Danza show?
Okay, so he went to Philly and taught at a school, and then at the end he did a concert with all the local choruses from the different high schools.
Okay, yep.
So I went to George Washington, and he had our chorus come over, and we did a set. And
nice.
All that stuff. So it was pretty cool. We got to meet him, and it was nice.
That's pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And then what about you, Anthony? How old were you when you first started kind of doing your thing?
I was pretty much indoctrinated into it. So I remember my dad would give me an unplugged guitar when he was playing with his friends, and just made me feel like I was part of the guys.
Okay.
Since I was my son's age, like 4 years old.
Nice.
Just goofing around. And then I would try to sing songs without knowing how to play the guitar, like before I was 10, like just being like a goofball. And it was just always something that was around. A long lineage of...
yeah, well, your grandfather was it your grandfather that was pretty famous in this area?
Well, my grandfather, Gary, is my dad's dad, and he is more of like a electric guitar guy, and he's opened up for like the Bee Gees and stuff like that. But his father was... Cecil West, who came up from West Virginia from like the coal mines, and he was getting tired of that, and he found his way eventually to Bridgeton, New Jersey, and that's where a lot of people from the South came up to bring their music, and he was a different breed. He was I could just go on and on, but yeah.
Well, so for the people that don't know, like what was his kind of claim to fame?
The WSNJ radio. It was on Saturdays in Bridgeton. It was a local radio, and he would do that a lot. Every Saturday, he would have his own little hour, and there was a place called the Chicken Coop, and it got burnt down in like the early '90s, I think. I might be messing up this story, but a lot of the old Southern musicians used to go there, and you could get a beer for a nickel, and it was all like just self-run. It was like their own like open mic, but
that's cool.
Yeah, and the Chicken Coop was like a speakeasy in Bridgeton at the time, and so he was known for that too, and also for playing at the Cowtown Rodeo a lot.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They always give a shout out to him. He actually would take in some prodigy kids, even though he never taught any of his other kids how to play guitar. make them learn the hard way.
Right.
But he taught. I don't want to give his name. Well, I guess it don't matter. But
Go ahead.
he takes pride in it. His name's Dan Boner, and he runs this whole music and like for ETSU. It's a college in Tennessee.
Oh,
and
okay.
Taught him how to play fiddle, play guitar, the old style, and he's like really good. Like
That's awesome.
makes a C chord like makes you blush or something. You know, it's like
that's fantastic.
But yeah, so I just try to hold on to it. You know?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So then, when did you start kind of
taking it seriously?
Yeah.
Probably when I was around 15 or 16.
Okay.
I always knew how to like do a couple chords and had my dad teach me like Skinner songs or something. But then once I started to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and high school, like she said, like your friends go different ways, and I went to guitar. I isolated myself.
Okay. I know you rarely do cover songs, or if you do a cover song, it's usually in your own style. Same with you, Amber. But when you first started, did you just naturally start trying to write your own music and play your own music, or did you try to learn a few covers in the beginning too?
In the beginning, I definitely wanted to learn songs. I was like going right to my dad, like, hey, how do I play this? How do I play this? And he would show me like the beginning riff or something, and then wait until I got that, and then I would come back to him, and then I'd be like, what's the next part? And then he, then he'd show me that, and then I'd be like, what's the next part?
Right.
But he would make me work on it by myself. Like, he wouldn't sit there in front of me and watch. He'd just show me a couple times and then throw me in a room.
Nice.
So,
that's cool. Very cool.
But I did try to write my own songs as like a mid-teenager, and I ended up throwing out the tapes. They're horrible. Yeah.
You've got a pretty unique style, in my opinion. I know you play in a lot of alternate tunings, and your singing style. I mean, I harken back to like Bob Dylan and some more like older country bluegrass type stuff.
Absolutely.
So where does that influence come from?
Well, I was like, it was like my goal as a teenager to find musicians and artists that like my peers didn't know about and stuff like that, you know, like other than punk rock or something.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it was like, I started getting into Rory Gallagher a lot, and I always felt like he kind of sang like my grandfather did. And then I had these old recordings of like my uncle, my grandfather's brother, of his songs, and they're just amazing. Wow. And they were gonna get a deal with Coca-Cola back in the 70s, and they had the paperwork and everything. But my Uncle Dana was still in high school, where my grandfather was out, and they butted heads about what to do with so they ended up breaking off the band.
Oh, no.
Never signed the contract or anything. But I have some of these recordings, and the songs are really beautiful, and he's kind of got like a Jim Blossoms singer voice, but also with like a little Southern twang in it. But with Rory, he's Irish, you know, so it's like, and I really clung on to him for a while. But then I started getting like Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. Now I'm into like John Martin and Dave Van Ronk. And these guys are just like, now I like the rawness, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Amber? Like what kind of, when you were, so I know you said you were doing like the school chorus thing and all that stuff. Did you ever sing with other bands? And then if so, like what type of singing was that? Was that like, were they like cover bands and things like that, or?
No, I never did sing with anybody else. I've been writing songs since I was a kid.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I would like sing them alone in my room.
So what kind of songs? Because I know you recently learned how to play guitar.
Yes.
And are there any other instruments that you know?
I don't. I'm okay on a drum. But,
but I know you like to play the cajon at the open mic quite a bit.
Get on the bum drum, but
keep the beat.
Yeah.
That's right. So if you're writing songs, were they just a cappella type songs then?
Yeah. So when I was writing songs before I learned how to play the guitar, it was kind of hard to keep them. You know, like
all the time.
I'd forget how they went and all that stuff. But now that I can play the guitar, it's like, you know, I find something that I like the way it sounds, and then I'll just sing over it, and then it sticks in my brain. I don't have to write it, like I don't forget it. So that's the cool part about it.
It is cool. Well, I noticed you do have a pretty good memory, I think, because you know you'll be at the open mic and you'll be like, I just learned this song like yesterday, and you're not looking at your phone for lyrics and stuff like that. So that's pretty impressive.
No,
it ticks me off like how she's learning so quick.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like,
how long have you been playing guitar now?
Less than a year.
Well, I know it's probably closer to 6 months though, right? Or is it almost a year now?
I would say 8 to 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down, and then I finally stuck with it this year. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
It is very impressive how quickly you're picking it up,
Well,
and then also the ability to sing and play. That took me years to figure out.
Yeah, to do it at the same time. Yeah, I was just a lead guitar player for, you know, or a bass player or something. And then when I was forming my first band, they like kind of cornered me and like forced me to try to sing a song.
They did.
And I was like shaking in front of my bandmates at the time, and it just took me forever.
Yeah, she seems to pick it up right away.
Yeah.
Singing is just so natural to me. Like it's just part of who I am, and
that's awesome.
It always has been, you know, like my whole life. I think I was singing before I was talking.
Okay.
So
I'm sure.
it's like,
I'm sure that you probably, because I don't know when you started playing guitar, but it's like I've cried over not learning like a certain lick.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's like learning a kickflip or something for the first time. You know,
I haven't gotten there yet.
But she doesn't seem to be going through that phase. You know, like it's just like
I'm just
boom.
taking it one
awesome.
step at a time, moving at my own pace,
That's
learning.
awesome.
You know.
That's fantastic.
And then with the cover songs, if I can add, like
Go ahead.
when I learned the first, you know, chords, G, C, D, A, whatever, you'd find the songs that you can play with that, and then you move on, you find another song you want to play, and it's got a different chord in it. So I Google what that looks like, and then I'll just play it.
Right.
Still fresh.
So that helps.
That's awesome.
That helps with original music too, because now I can incorporate those new chords that I'm learning from these cover songs, and then you know, make new stuff.
That's very cool. So who are some of your influences then?
Oh man, Gilliam Walsh is great. That's actually like the first song that I sang at an open mic was a Gilliam Walsh song with Anthony, and that was cool. But like I love Jewel and who else do I like? Janis Joplin, Stevie Nicks, Melanie. The list goes on. I have so many people like Led Zeppelin and even men. Like I just love all music,
Nice.
every genre.
I remember it was the first time I met Amber's parents, and we were at like a casino. And the casino, I'd like never been to a casino, right? And I brought my guitar just because like her parents were like trying to see who I was and like buying me out kind of. And so we had like our own room and stuff, and they saw that I had the guitar, and they were like skeptical. They're like, "Can you really play?"
My mom
Can
made
you do
him
this?"
take it out.
Oh,
and play
really?
it.
That's
so,
hilarious.
So I was like being tested this night.
Sure.
Yeah, and
You had to audition to be your girlfriend's boyfriend.
but I ended up having her sing with me. So
nice.
so I wasn't like alone.
Yeah.
And they told me like that was the first time she was singing
In a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
and like that was like a domino effect for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's- So if I could pry into your personal lives a little bit,
Sure.
like how long have you been together? When did you meet?
We'll be together. It's been 10 years October.
Okay.
Married for 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we've known each other for 11 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
She got me my first job on the books as a busboy.
And I was a
nice.
waitress.
Nice. Where at?
Golden Pigeon in Bridgeton.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And is that how you met, or how did you meet?
No.
That's a fun story. That's a really
I'll say
fun
it.
story.
Right?
Go ahead.
She was she already had her first kid with a old friend of mine with a
This
bad
is gonna be a good story.
with a bad history. So but at the same time it was it just like naturally just happened.
Let's
know?
just say I wasn't that guy's only girlfriend.
Oh, okay, I got you. So you met Amber through this guy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Who was a friend of yours?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
And then that relationship ended, and you guys started.
Yeah, we
Yep. So when I first met you guys on the open mic scene, I think you guys were kind of performing together. I mean, you were playing guitar. I think if I remember correctly, you guys would usually go up. You'd put your names on the list separately, maybe.
Yeah.
And then then Anthony would do his 2 or 3 songs, and then you would come up to do your 2 or 3 songs, and he would play for you because
Yes.
at the time you didn't play.
Right.
So when did that kind of start? How long has that been going on?
I would say 2 years now.
Okay.
almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2 years. Yeah, the first. Actually, it was Leanne that got me singing again.
Oh, you know what? I think she told me that story.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would sing at home with him, but I was pregnant with our daughter, and we went to the Pine Tavern Distillery for their open mic.
Okay.
And Leanne was there, and she, kind of had me come up and sing a song with her.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I would like to do this more.
Very cool.
I can. Why not?
It helps me out too because it's like since she's started, she's coming up with a lot more ideas. You
There
know,
you
it's
go.
not
Yep.
just me
There you
like, hey,
go.
I need an hour to myself. No, now she's like, I need an hour to myself.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm curious, Anthony, about I do one song in an alternative tuning. In my part of my cover set, I sing "She Talks to Angels," and that's an open E. You seem to tune. I don't even know what tunings you're in half the time when you're up there on open mic. So how did that kind of come about that you just started playing in different tunings? Was that an influence from somebody specific?
Yes.
Or?
His name was Riley Walker.
Okay.
He should be back in the States soon, but he's only a couple years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
He had an album that was on 88.5, for the XPN stuff.
Okay.
But it was called Primrose Green, and the whole album is
It's amazing.
it's
The whole album's
insane.
great.
It's
I'll have to
insane.
check it out.
And I like fell in love with that sound. And going through that, and you can't really you can't just search the chords or the tunings.
Right. Yep.
Like I started going on the YouTube channels and looking up the comments, like see if anybody else said what tuning it's in and stuff.
Right.
And then there was an interview with him, and he mentioned John Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started looking back, and John Martin, he's a 70s Scottish guy, and his music does not sound too Scottish. It's really awesome. And
Okay.
It is.
and
I hate it when stuff sounds too
he was
Scottish.
friends. He was actually, yeah. No, this stuff is crazy. No, he's definitely Scottish though. He died of liver cancer, liver failure. But anyway,
Dave has got something against Scottish.
but then I found.
Not at all. Not at all.
Kidding, jokes.
But then I found out that he was this John Martin guy was roommates with this other musician who killed himself in the 70s called Nick Drake. So
Okay.
then I started getting into Nick Drake. And after my band like dispersed, you know, like drummer, you know, just things. And I had to find my own sound now. And to get a full thing that I wanted, I can't really play like the bluegrass guys like in my past, like the other West guys.
Okay.
But if I can find the different tunings and fill it all out, and just stay on beat.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all.
So this band that you were talking about, how long were you guys together?
We went through some phases.
Okay.
Andre Fernoy, he's an awesome musician. He lives in Virginia now. He was my rhythm guitar player. And if I asked him to bend a string, he knew exactly where to bend it. He plays for a band called Lucky Has Fallen now, and he's doing pretty good in Virginia.
Nice.
My bass player is my right-hand man. Helped me make every song or everything, like even the guitar parts. Like he could play any Hendrix song or Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
And he bit the bullet when he met me. He was like, "All right, I'll play bass. You can do that." Yeah. So we were a three-piece for
What was
so
his
long.
name? What was that guy's name?
Andrew Pennock. And
Okay.
he's in Missouri now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's got his own business. He's doing great.
He's killing it.
And my drummer at the time, he was going through a whole different type of emotions and stuff. So I ended up getting my cousin to fill in for him. And my cousin, Colin, he's like a jack of all trades, master of none, but
Okay.
he can
do it all.
Yeah,
Nice.
and he's done some big shows with us.
Okay.
But we were Stowe Davies, and I miss that.
Oh, so that's where that name comes from. Okay.
Yeah, we were a blues trio.
Okay.
After my buddy moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
He's a
And-
teacher.
Okay. Was it so Blues Trio? Were you doing cover songs or originals?
We did some covers. Like we would do Sleepwalk, like weird covers.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
I say blues because that's kind of like the closest thing.
Sure.
But no, mostly originals. And
Okay.
we played in AC like religiously.
We also did
Okay.
the Trocadero.
We did Trocadero.
You did?
ESPN.
Yeah,
That's
we did the
awesome.
XPN Cafe.
Oh, nice. How'd you get those types of shows? I mean, Trocadero is a great place to play.
Well, it was. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not open anymore, but yeah. How'd you get those gigs?
Actually, my bass player worked his ass off.
Oh,
you
okay.
know, like-
So he was reaching out to places and
yeah,
stuff?
he's like I said, he has his own business. He's better at doing that kind of stuff.
Okay. So now you guys are both kind of on the scene, obviously doing open mics, and then you're gigging when you can. You guys gig as a duo or separately? How does that work?
We do duo mostly. We'll like switch off.
Yep.
You know, I'll play 30 minutes, he'll play 30 minutes, so on, so on.
Okay.
And then, you know, if we do get separate gigs, we get separate gigs. I played my first 2-hour gig by myself.
Nice.
It was, it went well.
Where was that at?
Dodge's Market in Elmer, just a
Okay.
little cafe,
Nice.
nice on the corner of a little quiet town. But they like me, they want me back, so
All
that's
right,
cool.
good.
But
good. Let's talk a little bit about writing styles, right? So, Amber, you said that you've been writing songs ever since you were like 3, right?
I would say, you know, since I could write.
Okay, so how does that look? What's that look like? If you want to sit down and write a song, or you know, I don't know, if maybe it's something that comes to you out of nowhere. Like how does a song get written?
So when I was young, I would sit down and write, and then like it was just more like whatever came to me, and like I would sing songs in the car that were nobody else's. Like,
Yeah, right.
Just turn the radio off, sing my own songs. But
Okay.
I just
So obviously
sing-
lyrics first, then, right?
Yeah, lyrics.
Yep.
I mean, lyrics first until I started playing. And
Okay.
then, you know, once I picked up the guitar, I was able to, you know, make a tune and then come up with the words that went with the tune. And,
Okay.
you know, I've always been into poetry and writing, so it kind of comes.
So do you have this entire catalog of songs that don't have music to them, then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who don't, right?
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking back, like if you know, she just started playing guitar like a year ago, there must be all these
Oh,
songs
yeah.
from the past
So
that just
many.
never got music to
I
them.
have books full of poetry, and
It was
it's-
hard being her guitar player for a little bit.
No, I'm very I'm a perfectionist, so
Okay.
and I'll beat myself up if I miss a chord or something like that. Like it,
Yeah, we all do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's never gonna end.
yeah. Now, how about you, Ant? When you're writing a song, how does that come about?
It's just got to work. It's hard to explain for me. I don't want to do the same things over and over. So
Sure.
everything kind of like has to flow. And if it don't flow, then I'll just throw it away. I'll just throw it away.
But when you're writing, you're just sitting down with the guitar and just kind of fiddling around and seeing if melodies come to you?
I have, I get certain phrases in my head that I'll hold on to, and I'll just work around them for a while. And then when I finally get something that I like just for that one part, like just like a phrase or something, then I'll work on to like, what should I say next?
Okay.
You know, like, and it's got to be just as cool, or, you know, it's got to, you know, contract, you know, like I don't want to just say words, you know.
Right. So you're not into like the filler type words, you know, where you're just
I do that when I improv, definitely.
Oh, okay.
When I improv,
Well, yeah, you know, that's another thing that you just reminded me. I know there's been a couple times at Little Lee's open mic where, you know, you'll just get up and just start playing and just, you know, words, lyrics, randomness will just come out.
I think that's like essential. Like, I worked really hard to learn how to improv throughout my teen years and into my early 20s. And now I just try to practice on it sometimes. And the open mic's fun to do that on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like if I mess up, who cares? I'll go get a beer. You know?
And you also have an uncanny ability, I think, to pick up pretty much any instrument and just somehow automatically know how to play it.
Anything with strings. He can play anything with strings. I've seen it.
Well, I mean, the case in point, I guess about a month ago, Leanne brought her little Telecaster mandolin.
I love that thing.
Right? The Mandocaster.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And you picked it up and plugged it in and you're just wailing away on it.
I have 3 mandolins as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you played
the first
mandolin.
one I bought, I was in an ensemble class in high school, and I wanted to bring something else to the table because I was a freshman, and the other guitar players were already better than me, and then we had to work together for a song, and I was at the Vineland U Cell, and there was this old Southern dude that you could barely understand. Like, if you ever seen Fox and the Hound. You know the gray dog, like like that's how he talked, and he had a melon body.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it had a little pickup in it, and he said that he built it himself and this and that, and he said it was $60. Well, I was 16, you know, and I didn't have $60.
Sure.
I probably had 20, and I went running my dad or whatever, and he gave me the extra, and I bought it for this musical ensemble thing because I wanted to learn "Going to California" by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, nice.
But I'd never learned. So by the time I learned the little part, it was already up. So I never brought it to school or anything.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What other instruments have you kind of fiddled around on? Have you ever tried the banjo or anything like that?
I want a banjo so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a 4-string that worked a little bit, and I would play slide on it.
Oh, nice.
Glass slide on the banjo, and
Okay.
because the neck was so bent or warped or whatever, like the strings were so high, so I just tune it to an open tuning and just start sliding
There you
around,
go.
and it sounds so cool on a banjo when the strings are that high off the neck.
It's become a wall decoration.
Yeah.
So speaking of slides, I know you recently started, or you're kind of experimenting with making your own slides, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so
And I was gonna think like if anybody wants like their own slide, they can like, I don't know, like maybe find their own bottle or something, and like they can contact me and my cousin, and we'll just cut it for them. You know,
That's awesome.
Like
That's
if they don't know how, like
Do
it.
Yeah. No, I mean you gave me that one about a month ago at the last open mic.
That was one of the good ones.
It's
yeah,
really
yeah. That was one of the smooth ones. You see the other ones, they'll cut you. You know.
It's really nice though. I've never had a bottleneck slide before, and it's really cool. So I appreciate it. I've tried it. I need a lot of practice playing slide guitar for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. I think like if anybody's listening and interested in, helping to support, Anthony and Amber and all that stuff, next time you see him at an open mic, get one of his bottleneck slides because they're pretty cool. We know that in Anthony's world growing up, his family was very musical and all this stuff. Any musicians in your family, Amber?
So my uncle, he always played guitar at the family functions. He'd play his cover songs and all that jazz. But other than him, it was really just like dancers and singers. Like we didn't have anybody else that was, like inclined to do something with it. It was more like, ants getting drunk and dancing and singing. And it was like music was always a big part of everything we did. Like there was always music playing. And, I think my parents took me to my first concert when I was like 12, maybe 13, and just so on and so forth.
Who'd you go see?
Paramore.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
Paramore, yeah, that girl can sing. I loved her.
Man.
I saw Bad Religion open up for Pearl Jam at the last gig at the Spectrum.
Really? Oh, you were there for the last one at the Spectrum before they tore
I saw
it down?
like 12-year-olds smoking blunts. I was like, what the heck? I was like 15, like just wishing I could get a beer, but I couldn't,
No, I'll tell you what. I saw Heart 2019, and when I tell you that woman still has pipes, man, she was killing it.
What's her first name?
Nancy or
Nancy.
Ann?
Nancy
There's
Wilson.
Ann and Nancy.
Yeah, but Nancy Wilson, the singer. Yeah,
I love
she's
Heart.
amazing. Yep.
But yeah, they did a cover of Yes, and it was the most beautiful thing I ever heard in my life. It was so good.
She did. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube. She does Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. Because they Heart started as a cover band. They were a Zeppelin cover band when they started.
When they get to and she winds on down the road part, man, she kills it.
We walked into our wedding to the Immigrant Song. So remember? That's right.
That was a great wedding, man. It was great. So those who don't know, when Amber and Anthony got married, they brought. I guess you guys asked guests to bring their guitars or friends of yours.
Yeah, definitely.
So we had a couple of guitars like out in the car.
Otherwise, it would have all sucked. It would have been boring as hell. It would have been. It was like, we don't want to be in there. We're gonna be outside. Playing music.
Yeah. So like after dinner and stuff, and after you do the whole wedding thing.
Bull crap.
Then Anthony was like, hey guys, there's a couple guitars in the parking lot if you guys want to come out and jam. So we were like, all right, sure.
I had my cousin Colin go grab two.
Yeah,
the one who helps me make the glass slides.
Okay, all right, yeah. So everybody, like, I want to say at least half the people in your wedding were outside just passing guitars around and jamming and stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah. Dylan we had Dylan. We had to fight the priest over it and stuff so he could sing Fleetwood Mac as Amber walked down.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Nobody could. Yeah.
It sounded so good though.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Shout out to Half Soul.
So I know. Anthony, you've got a Bandcamp website that you've got. How many songs do you have released on Bandcamp?
Probably almost maybe 10 or 12.
Okay, nice. How about you? Anything in the works?
I do have a Bandcamp.
Okay.
It's amberwest.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
You know how it goes. And I have one song on there, and I'm working on another one in studio in Riverton right now.
Right at Studio 5, I think?
6.
Studio 6.
Right next to
Brewery 33.
Yeah, Billy Rivas, cool new country guy. He actually brought me in to do harmonies on his album that he's recording at Studio 6. So that's how I met Mike, and he put me on the project board. So
that's awesome.
I think it's pretty cool.
Very cool. So I don't know if you can talk about it, but what are your plans? Is it just the one song, or are you going to be doing more?
So we did one song. We're working on another one. We're just going to see where it goes from here. So, I have plenty of ideas, and he likes me. So
very cool. Very cool.
I like them too.
I want to give a shout out to Fran Carozzo, dude.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
he is like keeping that Pittman thing alive.
Yeah.
And he's recorded me multiple times for free. And
nice.
Just so I could have something to, and also my buddy Dave Stewart.
All right, so what are you guys going to do for us as far as songs? I mean, I know there's two of you. Usually we do 2 songs.
Let Amber play first.
We're going to do 4 because Amber's got 2 and Anthony's got 2. So
special treat.
So tell me what songs you're going to do.
I call this one Burn.
Okay. And what's that about? If you want to tell me. You don't even have to tell me. Maybe you want to keep it mysterious. It's up to you.
Sometimes my songs have no meaning. Sometimes they have so many meanings, like all the things mashed up into one, and it's just like, I guess it's just for interpretation.
Okay, fair enough. So that one's called Burn. What's the other one?
I haven't decided, Dave.
All right, well, you don't have to talk about that one. You can still give it an intro once you start playing it, so that's totally fine.
All right, sounds good.
And then how about you, Ant? What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a song called Ron's Song.
Ron's Song?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the one that I have a little demo that I just did last week, and I put it on Bandcamp, but just for people to hear.
Okay.
And then another one, maybe I'll do Deep Stare. Or, no, I'll do Chance to Live. Another
Chance to Live.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a good one. I like
That's a
that
good
one.
one.
All right, cool.
This is my song, Bleed. The rest. All right, this one is called Burn.
called A Chance to Live. Another chance to live. You get another chance to thrive. Another chance to live. Get another chance to another chance today. Yes, sir. Out of life. Get another chance to try. Another chance to live. You get another chance. Get another chance to live. Get another chance to get another chance to die. All right, this is Ron's song. Rest in peace, man. It's wide open space. Gonna need a brother for some good headspace. Time knows its place. You're gonna find a buddy, a brand new face. When you sing so fine, when you sing so fine, out of time. Let's say sing so fine. Hey, a fire. At a time.
All right.
It was rough. It was rough.